Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. In today's video, we're gonna get real when it comes to actually starting a candle business. What is it like? I have been running my own candle business for over 3 years now, so I just compiled kind of a quick list of pros and cons of starting a candle business. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Hi, it's me, just interrupting this video real fast just to let you know that I do offer a handmade business planner for any business owner that is looking to get organized. I have a digital planner template that you're able to use to help with organization, planning, and structure within your weekly routine. I know how overwhelming it can be, and this has really helped me. So if you're looking for something like this, go ahead and click on the first link in the description box below. So let's first start out with the pros, so the positives of starting and growing your own candle business, because obviously if I hated it by now, I probably wouldn't keep doing it. It is very challenging. I'm not saying it's not challenging, but there are a lot of pros of running a candle business. Now, I do want to specify that in this video, I'm talking specifically about starting a candle business, not starting a business in general, because of course there's going to be pros and cons of just starting up any kind of business in general. But in this video, I'm talking specifically about starting a candle business. So let's get into the pros. So the first pro that I have on the list is that you are creating a product that makes people happy. People love candles, and even the people that don't really like candles still can kind of, appreciate smelling candles and enjoying them. Trust me, at markets we see it all the time. There'll be wives that are coming over, they're wanting to smell candles, and their husbands are kind of just off to the side and they're having them smell the candles. And even then, I mean, they have their opinions on the candles, and most of the time people are going to walk up to a candle or get excited when they're going through the candle section, because there's something about the senses, the smells that you get, the really good smells. It can make people feel good. It can make people feel like their mood is kind of uplifted a little bit when they're smelling something really good. And then vice versa, if it's something really bad, like really not good smells, it can kind of just make you feel gross or kind of bring down your mood. So we are selling and creating a product that is going to make people happy and uplift their mood. And it's just a really good feeling. I don't know. You just know that people are going to really enjoy it. They smell it. They just, oh my gosh, they get this look on their face and they just love it. The next pro, and I will explain this one a little bit further, is that people already know what a candle is. So there's nothing that you have to do in terms of, how there's like the infomercials where there's like this new product out there that people are trying to figure out what it is. So you don't have to spend any time showing people what a candle is, teaching people what a candle is. Obviously, there are a couple of things when it comes to candle making. For instance, we do want to educate on trimming wicks and all that. But in terms of the actual product itself, it's very simple. People know what a candle is. I would say the majority of people know what a candle is. They've been around for a long time. So it's nothing new that we're having to teach and try to get people to understand what the product is before we are selling it. So that is a pro when it comes to actually selling the product, because you don't have to spend any extra time, energy, or money into marketing to actually teach people what your product is, because everybody already knows what it is. The third pro on the list is that you can have a really great profit margin on candles. Now, of course, this takes some time, some research, figuring out your cost of goods. I've made many videos about that, about how that is kind of a really important starting foundation to getting started with your business, because all in all, we do want to make money when we are starting a candle business. So you do want to make sure that you're getting a good profit. But with candles, you can make a pretty good profit on candles. And again, this kind of goes into the perceived value of your candles. So I mean, how many times have we seen candles out there that are selling for over $100? And we know that that candle was probably made for less than $5. So the marketing on things, the perceived value, the branding, you can really take it really big when it comes to candles. I mean, there's like fancy, bougie, all that kind of stuff when it comes to candles, luxury. So there's really a lot that you're able to do within just the candle realm itself. But overall, I personally believe that you can actually have a pretty good profit margin on candles. The fourth pro on the list is one of my absolute favorites. If you know, I am somebody who is very creative. I've always loved being very creative, painting, drawing, building things, creating things, whatever it is. And when it comes to candle making, we have a lot of creative freedom. We can express a lot of our story or our message or our, just whatever we have going on in here, we can express it into our candles. And I love that when it comes to names, when it comes to fragrances, when it comes to making your own fragrance blends. There's just so many options and so many different ways that you can make it unique and creative to yourself and really be able to express that in any way that you want to and that is going to make you feel connected and bring you closer to your brand. And I think that that's another pro, is that when you're able to really take your brand and take your business with your candles, have that creative freedom, that creative expression, it really just kind of bonds you together a lot more with your business and your brand, which can help be able to take you even farther with your business because you have so much more passion behind it. And then the fifth pro that I have on the list is that you can do pretty much all of your own marketing and pretty much for free, I would say, when it comes to a candle business. Because if you are documenting and being able to showcase behind the scenes, you'll have a lot to post and a lot of, footage and photos and ideas to be able to post onto social media, to be able to grow a community and have people understand the message, the story, the process, how much time and work and energy and effort that goes into making candles. Because again, before we've ever made a candle before, we had no idea how much work actually went into it. And this kind of goes with any handmade business in general. Any handmade business, you really can showcase behind the scenes. You can show the love and the energy and how much time you put into your own handmade product. And I think that is a huge pro and a huge benefit in comparison to other businesses of any kind where you're just, let's say, purchasing a product to then resell it under a different name. When it comes to this kind of business, you have so much more to offer and show people that they can really become connected to you as the owner behind the brand. And again, a huge pro. So I feel like I could go on more with the pros, but I decided to keep this a little bit shorter just so I wouldn't just be droning on and on. I really just kind of wanted to pick some main things to talk about in this video. So let's go ahead and go into the cons of starting a candle business, because obviously it's not all perfect and amazing and, without any obstacles or issues at all. So the first thing that I have on this list is that, of course, when you have a handmade business, such as a candle business, you're going to have inventory. You're going to need supplies. You're going to need tools and, equipment and all this kind of stuff. So you do have to take that into consideration when you are wanting to start a candle business, because you're going to need to find the space wherever it is in your house, your garage. If you're able to rent somewhere, there is going to be a lot of stuff. As you can see, I have boxes right there for shipping. So you have to take into account the making area. So where you're going to make your candles, how you're going to store all of your supplies, and then how you're going to store your shipping supplies. So it's not I don't even know the word to use for this, but it's not a business that goes unnoticed in the household. I would probably say that is the best way to describe that. And if you know, you know. The second con that I wrote down is that candles are heavy and fragile. So that in and of itself will pose more obstacles and maybe more complications in different aspects of you running your business. So for instance, if you're going to a vendor event, that was really one of the first times that I'm like, why did I pick something so heavy to sell? Because when you're putting a bunch in a tote and you're carrying it, I mean, it really, the weight will pack on, definitely. So that's something to take into consideration. And also when it comes to shipping. So you have to make sure that you are packaging your items properly so they're not going to break during transit. You have to make sure that you are not spending too much money on shipping because of how heavy the candles are. So there's a lot that goes into the candle business, specifically if you're going to be selling online, which I feel like the majority of people that are getting started with a candle business are wanting to be able to have that wider market of people to sell to online. And if you are somebody who is just getting started, you have no idea anything about shipping at all whatsoever, I did make a shipping course specifically for candle business owners. So it's just talking about shipping candles. It's not talking about just like anything general. It's very, very specific. I will have that probably pinned or linked in the comment section below. So if that's something that you need kind of an in-depth, step-by-step learning how to ship, price, package, all that kind of stuff for your candle business, that is there for you below. But that was something that, you know, I went from selling used clothing on eBay to selling breakable, you know, candles that were heavier. And when I resold on eBay, I never ever wanted to sell anything that was breakable because I just thought it was too much of a pain. But once you get the hang of it and once you know what you're doing, it's really not that scary anymore. It's just kind of getting over that hurdle and that obstacle of just trying to get it figured out. All right, the next one I put on the list, I was kind of hesitant about it because I don't know if I believe this fully, but I'm going to put it on here and just kind of explain. Candles are kind of seasonal. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, the majority of the time when people think about candles, they want to light candles when it's cold outside, maybe holiday scented candles. And I would say that that is something to take into consideration. But candles do sell year-round. So I don't want you to think that candles are only going to sell at the later half of the year. Candles sell all year round. I mean, we sold, you know, probably close to 7-8 candles, you know, over the past couple days. So people are still buying candles. It's not to say that, but there is that part of the year where candles do better. And what we've noticed as well is that when we are at local markets, when it's colder outside or when it gets darker, which typically goes hand in hand with getting colder, we notice that people are more drawn to the candles. So when people feel cold, they are looking at the candles like, oh, it's warm, it's comforting, versus, you know, when it's really, really hot outside, it's just not as desired as when it's cold. So that is definitely something to keep in mind as well. Again, it's not to say that candles don't sell year round, because they absolutely do, but they can be a little bit more seasonal than like a more generic year-round type of product-based business. The fourth con that I have on the list is our favorite, talking about all of the legal stuff and safety stuff when it comes to starting a candle business. But it's the reality, it's the truth. It is something that as a business owner, you do have to take into consideration, figure out what you need to get done, figure out what insurances you need, the warning labels, if there's any other type of warning disclaimers you can add into the packages. If you are wanting to get an LLC to be able to protect your assets, all of these things. Oh, not to mention the testing that goes into candle making to make sure that you are creating a safe candle. All of this is a must when you are getting started with a candle business because it just goes with the territory. We are selling contained fire. I mean, it's not like we're selling, flower headbands or whatever. That is going to be significantly less dangerous than selling candles to somebody. Now, yes, when it comes to selling candles, the majority of people, when they buy candles, they're just wanting to light it and, have their house smell good and then blow it out later, and they're not really thinking about it. But for us as candle makers and candle business owners, we know that there's a lot that goes into that before the customer even gets the product. So just make sure that you're protecting yourself and protecting your end consumer, because that is the most important part of this whole thing. So just make sure that you are taking into account all of the legal things that you have to do in order to make sure that you are selling a safe candle. And then this last one I saved for last because you could argue that this could be either a pro or a con, and that is candles have competition. There are a lot of people making candles. There's a lot of candles on the market. Everywhere you go, there's candles. Every event we've ever been to, there's other candle vendors. Actually, I think we have been to a couple where there wasn't, which was crazy. But for the most part, it is a very popular, very common consumer good. This is both a positive and a negative. The negative being that competition means that it's more difficult to stand out. It's more difficult for people to maybe find you over another, candle company. And also in terms of price, we know the big candle companies, they are able to sell their product at a much lower price than handmade business owners. I have argued the point that we do have a different market. We do have a different consumer that would rather purchase better quality from handmade business owners rather than the mass-produced candles. So there can be a different market there. But overall, we do have to understand that there is going to be a lot of competition. It's not that you're going to create your candle, take a picture of it, put it up on Etsy, and then all of a sudden people are buying it nonstop. It's going to take a lot of time and energy and time and overcoming things and learning and marketing and trying to grow your business slowly, little by little. It's not going to be this kind of clear-cut, super easy path. But when it comes to competition, the fact that there are so many people selling candles, the fact that there are so many candles at different stores and everywhere you walk into has a lot of candles is a really good thing, because that means people like candles. People are buying candles. It is a consumable product. People are going to consume the product and then want to buy it again, and then want to buy it again. The amount of people that I've had purchase from me over the years, over and over and over again, just shows that candles are something to where people are going to continuously want to buy more, which is a great business to be in, because that just means more business for you, more sales for you. But I want to hear from you. What are your biggest pros and cons about starting a candle business? What are you excited about? What are you nervous about? Did you feel like my list resonated with you? Please let me know down in the comment section below. But with that, I think I am going to end today's video right here. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at Memory Box Candle Co. And I will see you in my next video. You just know.